So, ladies and gentlemen, how bad were the Toronto Maple Leafs in the winter of 1982? I mean, 81, 82. Well, they only won 5 games from January 21st to the early start of April that season, and the majority of the games weren't close. They even lost 9-2 to Minnesota. Now, to start the streak, they had a not too bad record, 15, 21, and 12. And it ended up 20, 44, and 16. And the team basically gave up. There was a number of games they gave up more than 7 goals, especially an embarrassing 10-1 road defeat against the Islanders on March 4th, 82, and as well a 10-2 loss against Winnipeg at home. Now, the end of the season, again, 20, 44, and 16. But get this, despite the record, Rick Vaive had a strong campaign, 89 points, including 54 goals. Line mate Bill Derlego, who came over to Toronto in the big Tiger Williams trade, had 34 goals, while John Anderson had 31. And of all people, Terry Martin, who was known mostly for his defensive skills, had 25 goals. Of course, this was the campaign where he got rid of Daryl Sittler, brought in René Robert. Now, some of the young prospects weren't really producing, including Rocky Sagniuk, who only had 17 goals in 65 games, where a lot of people felt he was going to repeat his big success of the minors. Now, it wasn't the problem of the goaltending, because Michel Larocque, Vincent Tremblay, and Bob Perron were decent in the pipes, although it didn't reflect in the record. We're seeing a lot of pucks. Now, the idea of Toronto that year, we all knew there was going to be a bad part to that season, and Mike Nicoluk, again, not the best person to have in charge. That was the 65th season of the franchise, the 55th of the Maple Leafs. Now, in that division, with Minnesota, Winnipeg, St. Louis, Chicago, and Detroit, you could have easily made the playoffs, because only Minnesota and Winnipeg really were good franchises that year. And it's kind of strange, we're stuck with 3 original 6 teams that really weren't strong at all. Now, it was a year of a lot of transactions for Toronto. They pick up Don Luce from the Kings. Actually, the Billy Harris and John Gibson from the Kings. Of course, the Daryl Sittler trade in January with Rich Costello and Ken Strong, and the second-round pick going back to Toronto for Sittler. And that was pretty well lit. Even Will Paymont was traded. Laurie Bosch was traded. Greg Hotham as well, and Ian Turnbull as well. So they're just cleaning out. So Turnbull, Sittler, Hotham, Boschman, and Paymont. The experiment after Lanny McDonald trade kind of fell apart. Now, remember I told everybody in the channel I would not be doing anything on the modern Leafs? We have to look back at the 82 season as pretty well where they hit rock bottom. And the malaise of 2022, 23 can be directly connected to that year as well, because they had some decent chance to get some top players in the draft, and only really the person who worked out that year was Jim Benning. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you can find some videos of the 81 season, like I said, they started undefeated the first 3 games, but from then on, according to the stats here, they lost 8 of their next 10 games, and again, it didn't get any better than that. But that January 21st to April 4th, time in the wilderness, when again they lost 5 straight games to end the season, just terrible, 20, 44, and 16. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's the story of 82 Leafs. If you like what we're doing here, give us a like, comment, subscribe, or share. Bye.